Watch or avoid of Raw and SmackDown. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an edition of Watch or Avoid of Raw and SmackDown, where I will take everything that you should watch and what you should avoid of the weekly shows of WWE, and I'll weigh them up and we'll decide which show is better. Was it Raw or was it SmackDown? I'm Kai Gibbons, welcome to the show. We kick things off with Raw with a traditional in-ring segment. Miz TV, he introduces his guests, Bitch Lesnar and his associate Paul Heyman. Completely avoid this segment. You have two of the best talkers in the business, Paul Heyman and The Miz, and while it was great, all it led to was Brock Lesnar tearing through Miztourage, including The Miz, and well, what was the point of that? It made the Intercontinental Champion, who doesn't even have a match in 2 weeks' time at SummerSlam, look completely stupid. Oh, okay, so it has Brock Lesnar in it, but who cares? Brock Lesnar's gonna leave because he's a whiny little bitch. Curtis Axel took a clothesline, a German suplex, and an F5. Now, I'm not saying that I could take three of those and just be fine, but he's a wrestler. He was then unable to compete against Jason Jordan, so Jason Jordan went up against a local wrestler, I forgot his name. He tore through him, even though the crowd were completely behind the local wrestler because they were in Montreal, Canada, or Toronto, Canada. Somewhere in Canada. People booing Jason Jordan. That also gets an avoid. Avoid to all of that. Dean Ambrose versus Cesaro. Seth Rollins versus Sheamus. Watch. The drama develops between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Can Dean Ambrose trust Seth Rollins again? Can they unite together? Because together, that's the only way they're going to be able to defeat Cesaro and Sheamus. You saw Dean Ambrose, he got one up on Cesaro, but then Sheamus and Cesaro started beating up Dean Ambrose. Seth Rollins came in, made the save. The tag champs, they retreated, and Dean Ambrose, he was ready. He was ready. He was at that place again to trust Seth Rollins. But Dean Ambrose has been nothing but a prick tease. He extended his fist. Seth Rollins refused to fist him. The Bayley promo in the two triple threat matches to determine the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. You should watch with caution. Why I say watch with caution is because this injury for Bayley could just be the blessing that she needs. When Bayley comes back, she could potentially come back as a heel because she is pissed off with Sasha Banks, who I reckon will win next week between her and Nia Jax to determine the actual #1 contender for the shot at SummerSlam. Or she could come back as a face still, with a little bit of an edge, come back into the title picture. Sasha Banks is pissed off because she's like, oh, you can't just come back into the title picture, you got to work your way up, girl. Or she could come back, win the title, Sasha Banks gets pissed off and cost her the shot, and then you've got a new feud there. That's how Sasha Banks can turn heel. You've got so many opportunities. That is why I am going to give this a cautionary up, because it could lead to something great. And I'm going to be a little bit of a hypocrite when I come to the SmackDown division later. We move on to the Cruiserweight stuff, and again, watch this with caution. The stuff with Titus O'Neil is pretty fantastic, which is why you should watch it. And the match isn't terrible at all, and I'm interested to see where they are going with this Titus Worldwide stuff. Also, not to do with the TV show, but on the Raw Fallout, there was this interaction between the Titus Worldwide and Dana Brooke, which could lead to something. She wants to join Titus Worldwide. Keep wanting to say Titus Brand. She wants to keep joining Titus Worldwide, but they're refusing because they need her to find herself. That could lead to good character development, which is what Dana Brooke needs. They all need it. Completely avoid the stuff between Big Cass, Enzo and The Big Show. There was a random tag match between Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Apparently they're no longer involved with the Hardys. They took on Enzo and The Big Show. They defeated Enzo. I don't think The Big Show was even really tagged in. Enzo got his ass completely kicked. Big Show got distracted by Big Cass walking down the aisle. That allowed Gallows and Anderson to pin Enzo, and then Big Cass beat up The Big Show. Enzo saved him. Big Cass beat the shit out of Enzo. Enzo ran away, and then he was stalked by Big Cass. He got knocked out by The Big Show. Quite a stiff shot, actually. It was pretty nice. Who wins here? Big Cass looks like an idiot. Enzo looks weak as hell, and the Big Show is just kind of there. And now we have Big Cass versus the Big Show at SummerSlam with Enzo in a shark cage. Look, why don't you just have a loser leaves Raw match, Enzo versus Big Cass goes over, Enzo gets taken off TV for a while until you decide what to do with him after, you know, the heat has died down, because apparently there is a little bit of heat backstage. You can put him either in the Cruiserweight division, put him back on NXT, or you can give him another tag team partner that isn't the Big Show. Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor, absolutely two phenomenal wrestlers. However, this feud is doing nothing for them that they can get the fuck off my TV. Avoid. Apparently Goldust is going to do something at SummerSlam. Whatever. Avoid. And the main event, a last man standing match. I feel like this should have been on pay-per-view. It's very, very random for Raw. I mean, these two guys have had 3 great matches on pay-per-view at Fastlane, Payback, and Great Balls of Fire. It was a great match. It was a great match for TV. It was a great match for Raw, and it was far more significant and far more spectacular than that crap we had last week. But I was waiting for that one huge spot. There were some great spots in it where Braun Strowman chucked a chair, or that the table spot, the Simone drop through the table, and there was also a great moment where Reigns ran from the top of the stage and speared Braun Strowman right on his ass, right by ringside. And now, thanks to Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman is 3-1 to Roman Reigns. Poor Roman Reigns, man. Poor Roman Reigns.